Hello and welcome to the show where we're bringing you a seasonal story on the big screen, a monochrome look at the work of painter Marc Chagall and the first edition of a festival in Japan celebrating the art of manga comic books. First, Christmas is just around the corner, and for ballet fans that means it's time for the Nutcracker. This year the classic has been revisited by Disney in a film starring Misty, Copeland, Keira Knightley, Morgan Freeman and Helen Mirren. And although there's not that much dancing in this latest version, the filmmakers have kept part of Tchaikovsky's famous score. Yenna Lee has more.
Christmas Eve in Victorian London. While Clara's family is busy enjoying the festivities, the young teenager discovers something quite unexpected.
There are troubled realms within our world. And you hold the key.
A whole new universe, 4 realms to be exact, and Clara is on a mission to save them.
The land of snowflakes, the land of flowers, and the land of sweets. But in the 4th realm, this is where our troubles began. Mother Ginger started this war.
It's a fantastic treatment of E.T.A. Hoffman's original story. It's a lot of new inventions, but also a lot of things we're familiar with.
Staying true to itself, Disney takes us into a world of fantasy and magic. Filmmakers have brought to life the imagination of a 19th century writer using special effects and life-size props. It's a new take on the original story and ballet. Disney has, though, kept much of the original music by Tchaikovsky.
They're to put on a performance within the movie, sharing this story of the 4 realms without speaking. We speak and tell stories through movement.
It's just the laws of physics.
Do those laws always work?
As far as I know.
Ready.
It was very nostalgic, I think, something that everyone kind of remembers when they were a kid and they listened to the music or they read the book or they saw the ballet. And it's something that has been so beloved at the holiday season for so many years, and I think that's what really makes it special.
A timeless classic, revisited with extravagant costumes, simple dialogues and independent women. The Nutcracker and the 4 Realms is a Christmassy moment for all ages.
Next, for painter Marc Chagall, it was as necessary as food. Indeed, colour was a major feature of his work, often in rich, bright and dreamlike incarnations. But now an exhibition in Aix-en-Provence in the south of France shows us a lesser-known side of his work, with a collection of black and white painting, collage and ceramics. Claire Paquelin and Florence Gaillard visited the exhibition. Here's their report.
The master of colour in black and white. Marc Chagall's rich palette has always captured the attention of critics and art lovers. But this exhibition starts with his experiments in light and shadow. Grey tones, rich blacks and translucent whites. With his pair of bêtes fantastiques, the Franco-Russian artist even explored one of his favourite themes, magical beasts, in monochrome.
What's important is how he identifies with migration, as if the beast is a wandering Jew travelling across the land.
The exhibition focuses on Chagall's work after he returned from the United States. As a Jew, he'd had to flee France during World War II. Back on French soil, he revisited black and white.
As he was an artist who was continuously doubting every evening of what he was thinking or thinking of having achieved in the morning, he was in a continuous evolvement, in a continuous reprocessing of the work.
Experiments with monochrome led him back to colour, and he learnt new techniques in the sunny south of France. In 1950, Chagall bought a house near Vence, where he started ceramics and pottery. 2 years later, he met Valentina Brodsky. His first wife having passed away, Chagall married Valentina, and their love is reflected in vivid colours and shapes.
In the second half of his life, Chagall's colours were explosive because he had moved to the south of France, and rediscovered a new lease of life. He was a painter who liked to watch and touch everything around him. This approach to life enriched his painting.
Couples in love, beaches, bouquets of flowers, and comic characters. The works are an ode to joy, on display until March 2019 at the Hôtel de Copeland Museum in Aix-en-Provence.
Manga cartoons are one of the pillars of Japanese pop culture, an emblematic export which has found fans all around the world. Among those popular graphic novels is Radiant, the story of a boy sorcerer, which has already been made into a successful anime TV series. But there's just one difference here. The creator of this manga is called Tony Valente, and he's French. Our reporters caught up with him at the International Comic Festival in Tokyo.
A very popular exhibition hall for the first edition of an international manga festival. Manga lovers were once primarily Japanese, but today they come from all over the world. The main attraction of the event is Tony Valente. This 34-year-old French artist is the author of shonen mangas. With stories of superheroes meant for young boys, it's similar to Dragon Ball Z.
I'm very excited. I've been wanting to meet him for such a long time.
In the beginning, I thought that it was just another action manga, but when I got into it, I started to like it as much, if not more, than the best mangas.
For each of his fans, Tony recreates their favorite character from his manga Radiant. The most popular mangas are adapted into animation films on television. That's what happened to Radiant. Published as a manga 5 years ago, the story of this young wizard was broadcast this year on Japanese public television. This is a great sign of recognition for a manga artist. A fantastic universe, an out-and-out hero, vibrant colors, and a fight against evil forces. Radiant has all the ingredients necessary to attract young viewers. This is where the manga is made into a film.
On this scene, the character has a lot of strands of hair going in all directions. It is very hard to colour.
Color designers, graphic artists, and scriptwriters. In all, close to 1,000 people are working on this adaptation. The author has come to discuss the next episodes.
This is a broomstick race scene, isn't it? May I draw all alone quietly at home and in one go? It takes form here, it starts to move around, it's really inspiring.
This animation film may look like it's made for children, but it also raises more serious issues and attracts adults too.
I speak about various issues, immigration, things like that, rejection, but in this other world was a coating of fantasy.
Radiant is a worldwide success and is broadcast in more than 200 countries.
And if you can't make it to Tokyo, an exhibition at Paris's La Villette Cultural Centre brings us the best of the art of manga, and you can check out that show until the end of the year. And finally, it's gone from the sound systems of Kingston, Jamaica, to the corridors of the UN's highest cultural body. Reggae music has been added to UNESCO's list of intangible cultural heritage. Applauded as a genre promoting togetherness and peace, reggae rose in popularity in the 1960s and 70s thanks to groups like Bob Marley and the Wailers, Toots and the Maytals, and Jimmy Cliff. And while it might have started out as the voice of the marginalised, it's now a mainstream influence around the world. Here's Jamaica's culture minister on the news.
We consider intangible cultural heritage to be of extreme significance in a country's identity. And so in Jamaica, we are proud of the fact that this element of reggae music is one in which we often describe as that which we eat, sleep, and breathe. Reggae is no longer only ours. The world has now taken it as their own.
Well, we'll leave you with a Jamaican singer who's continuing in that tradition. This is the latest single from Sizzler called Think Wise. His album, Blackbird Rhythm, is released in February. Remember to check out our website for more arts and culture, and you can check in with us on social media too. There's more news coming up on France 24 after this.
crime and the violence, no time to argue. Our kids need guidance, someone to talk to. Distraction took a fraction, that's all. While some growing up having no moral value. For trivial things, you're having a dispute. The guns are manufactured to kill the youth. You never kill the tree, you poison the root. Then now you expect the tree to bear and bring the fruit. Youth man, think wise, gotta do your best, no, I won't lie. What's gone, that's lost, I never get even because time flies. Youth man, think wise, you gotta do your best, yeah, no, I won't lie. What's gone, that's lost, you never get even.
Versailles.